Hey, buddy. Hey. Oh, hello and welcome once again to Creepy Cheapies, also known as Affordable Mask Recommendations. And right now I'd like to say a word on behalf of the forums online. I know a lot of the forums are kind of on life support right now, and the whole forum chat board kind of places online, it's kind of a moribund thing right now because everybody does all their online communicating through the social networks. But if I might say a word on behalf of the forum, I kind of like the forums, like the one that sponsors these ridiculous mask segments, the HMA.net. And here's why I like places like that. If you go to the HMA or something, whatever your subject matter of choice is, the HMA is what it is, but if it has to do with masks, so that's the one I'm going to use. If I want to talk about masks, or I want to look at masks, or I want to see what new masks are available and what artists are making, or I want to show off a picture of a new mask that I just got, or one that I just painted, or something, I can do it on those forums. And like at the HMA, it's all the talk is pretty much about masks. And you can find whatever you want to see that has to do with masks. Whereas if you go to like the Facebook or one of those, if you're on Facebook, in order to see anything cool and interesting and relevant to you, you have to scroll through so many you know, misspelled, mispunctuated, illiterate rants about topics that you don't even understand and you don't know anything about and you don't care about, and the people writing it are just wasting your time, and you have to look at pictures of their food, pictures of the plate of spaghetti they're going to have for dinner. I don't know why people do this. I mean, I remember the days before internet, and I really don't ever remember anyone stopping me in the street with like a plate of noodles and going, "Hey, look what I'm having for dinner." I don't remember anyone ever doing that, so I don't know how people would survive now without that capacity. But anyway, all this, the angry rants and the fighting and everything is there's just so much of all the gibbery style oinkery that you have to wade through to get to anything interesting on Facebook. But if you go to a forum that's about the topic you're interested in my case that would be masks, you can just see the cool stuff about the mask, and you don't have to put up with all the gibbery style oinkery, what makes no sense at all. Where were we? Oh yes, tonight's mask is a great one from the folks at Zagoni, formerly Be Something Studios, and this particular one sculpted by the great Jordu Schell. I'm sure you've heard of Jordu, one of the top monster designers out there, I would say. It's safe to say that. One of the top, one of the best monster designers and mask sculptors. Jordu came up with this very dramatic and scary thing, which is known as the Hooded Imp. Sometimes known as the Hooded Space Imp. I don't know what space has to do with it. He doesn't really look like an alien to me, but I guess they could have imps on other planets, right? They could have imps in space. I guess he'd come from Pluto. I mean, that's the dwarf planet, isn't it? Yeah, so that's where he'd come from if he's an imp, I guess. But what a great, scary face this is. Look at the naturalistic, very anatomically plausible contours of this face, and those creepy little eyes that look like little glistening dark red balls of evil back there in his eye sockets. Just really cool. Just a great monster, I think. And this came out around 2005, I believe. It was the fourth one that Jordu sculpted for Zagoni Studios. As you can see, it's got a very generous hood here made of your burlap, aka Hessian cloth. And underneath that, so that you don't have burlap against your bare skin, there's the black taffeta liner. So you get the two-part hood, the two-layer hood. Very generous too. Look how nice and long this is. How good this would look hanging down on the front of your costume if you're wearing like a burlap robe or any kind of a creepy torn up outfit or a long robe. And again, terrific face. He's got eye holes cut above his eyeballs. And let me show you one more thing. On the inside, he's got foam rubber in the top. Can you see that? He's got a foam liner in there to hold him in shape and make him, you know, hang properly. when you're wearing it, to make the face stay in shape and hang there like it should. And he's got some long, stringy, creepy hair here. He looks kind of, to me, this is just me, he looks to me a little like a Morlock from a version of the Time Machine they haven't made yet. But if you just think of the characters of the Morlocks and don't think of the movie versions, this would make a cool Morlock, wouldn't it? This would make a good look for Morlocks for a version of the Time Machine. But anyway, sells for, I believe, around 69, 70 bucks. That neighborhood there. So get yourself a hooded imp, sometimes called hooded space imp. And by the way, I'm guessing that maybe it's sometimes called space imp because Zagoni makes another one that's just called imp. So maybe sometimes some people, some dealers and retailers put space in there to help differentiate it from the other Zagoni imp. Buy one today.